You found it. It's the real news with your host, David Knight.
Mystery surrounds metal towers that are popping up in tunnels and bridges in New York. I'm going to play that clip for you and then comment on what these people are saying, because I think it is a very, very dangerous position that we're in here. And it is truly a legacy of September 11th. This is the transformed mentality of Americans after September 11th. You know, when we hit the 16th anniversary of it, a couple of weeks ago, I was talking about how that fundamentally transformed our society, how there are these events that have been transforming our society on about a 70 or 80-year interval, and I truly believe that we've already had that transformation. Maybe it'll get worse, who knows? But boy, I tell you what, everybody knows it is a different America after September 11th, mainly because the psychology of Americans changed so much. They don't care about freedom anymore. They simply want the promise of security. But listen to this secretive, sorry, you can't know. It's almost like it is everybody, whether they're city transportation officials or anyone, has become the CIA anymore. Why? Because our surveillance state, the CIA, the NSA, that are spying on Americans, have so permeated their tentacles into every level of government that this is what you wind up with. Here's that report.
But at night, it lights up really nice.
Jose Lugo says these tall metal towers quickly popped up after Brooklyn Battery Tunnel toll booths came down.
We don't really know what's the purpose of this.
It's a $100 million MTA project full of secrecy.
These things are as tall as streetlights, folks.
For the tunnels and bridges. Big. So what are they exactly?
Are you saying you can't comment to me? You know,
that's the MTA's man in charge of bridges and tunnels, Cedric Fulton, dodging our questions.
Not even later can we talk to you about it, or can I make an appointment?
Some MTA board members, including New York City Transportation Commissioner Polly Trottenberg, say they know too little about the towers, even with about half the money spent and some of the towers up.
A lot of the board members felt like they didn't have all the details they would have wanted, myself included.
Residents who say they suspect there is much more going on with these towers than meets the eye wonder, will they ever know what's going on inside them?
I'm going to guess it's probably not just a decoration.
It's a bit mind-boggling that the MTA is approving $100 million for what appears to us to be big decorative pylons.
John Caney is leader of the watchdog group Reinvent Albany.
What we're asking for is transparency from the MTA.
We demanded answers from MTA Chairman Joe Loda.
Some of your own board members say they don't know the specifics.
The base of these new pieces that are going up include whatever fiber optics are necessary for those homeland security items.
In other words, anti-terror technology. Could it one day include
that looks
facial
dystopian.
recognition? We don't know. He won't say.
I'm not at liberty to discuss that.
So watch as more of these expensive towers rise, with mystery tucked away inside them. In Lower Manhattan, Dave Carlin, CBS 2 News.
Play a little bit more. Oh, the comment that person, when they came back from that report, said, don't worry, Homeland Security says that we're safe. We're safe. That, to me, was the money clip on there. Maybe we'll get that a little bit later. But it's absolutely amazing to me when we look at this. And these things, as I pointed out, as we're looking at the video, they are as tall as a street light. And they are very, very wide. Big, massive, imposing. I guess the way you would describe it is I think it's called brutalism, the style of architecture adopted by totalitarian states. It actually it does look brutal, but it's these big, imposing concrete edifices that they call it brutalism because it was exposed raw concrete and raw building materials, but it also gives it a very authoritarian, dystopian look. And to me, that whole thing looks very brutal. And yet people are just, oh, no, that's okay. We don't really know what the purpose of this is. It's a $100 million project that their city government is paying for, but they're not allowed to know. Even the people on the board are not even allowed to know. See, that's the amazing thing. The board members said, well, I would like to have had more details, but I'm just not important enough to know what's going on in my town. Because the people who are going to make these decisions are in Washington. and they're in Langley, and, the NSA, all these people that we can trust because they keep telling us that they're going to do this for our own safety. So we just don't have to know any of that. We don't know any specifics. We don't know any details. But they said, don't worry. It's got everything that Homeland Security needs. Well, we need to have some answers. We're not your slaves. And we're not going to live in a secretive society like this. When government can keep everything secret from us, well, they can do anything to us. And that's the attitude that they have, the attitude that we are their slaves. And then they finish it up and saying, I'm not at liberty to discuss that. We don't have any liberty, do we? The board members don't have any liberty. You don't have any liberty. You just pay up. Pay up your $100 million, and we're going to put some surveillance thing here. Maybe it'll be something, they could put some soft kill thing or some hard kill thing in there, and you'd never know or care, would you? Whatever they do. We had one more quote from another official. This is the MTA official. His name is Schultz, and he had this to say.
I see nothing. I know nothing.
At least he's wearing the right uniform. The Nazi uniform, because that's where we are, folks. This is a dystopian future that we're in. Now, you're winning the information war when the other side has no response but to resort to censorship. Drain the swamp? We're going to have to drain the privilege out of Washington first, because that's what the swamp feeds on, their privilege. They can't stand for people to exercise their First and Second Amendments together.
You found it. It's the real news.
That's what you have to look forward to.
He's not sorry when snowflakes can't handle the truth. It's your host, David Knight.
In ancient times, man roamed the earth in a constant state of hunting or being hunted. Introducing Caveman, where cutting-edge science meets ancient super nutrients. Secure your bottle right now at InfoWarsStore.com.